one project, which was a US client of mine, I was able to earn about 34,000 per project, which is
34,000.
honestly great. Yeah,
That's
it's
amazing. How much time it took for you to complete that project?
it took
Mm-hmm.
about 4 to 5 days. The best part about it is the freedom I have with my schedule. Like I'm not working sleepless nights at a company, like trying to do someone else's work. My single productive day is anywhere between 4 to 6 hours. I probably
Wow.
won't. I
Mm-hmm.
would stress the fact that AI is here to stay. Like you cannot deny AI. Inevitably you have to incorporate it. You have to adapt to it. Otherwise, you just be left behind. That's the sad reality.
Hi, Manish.
Hi Swati, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for joining.
Of
And
course,
I
it's my
would,
pleasure.
yeah. So I would quickly want you to firstly introduce yourself, Manish. Like, where are you from and what do you exactly do?
So I was born and raised in Bangalore,
Mm-hmm.
but I did my bachelor's in Los Angeles in screenwriting and film production. And I've been
Wow.
in the industry. I've had industry experience for quite a while now. And earlier this year, around March or so, I started learning AI mid-journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I that's when I pivoted towards freelancing, wherein now I design AI pitch decks.
What do we exactly mean by pitch decks?
Okay. So essentially what a pitch deck is when a filmmaker or a producer, they have a script ready and they have a project that they want to show it to investors or financiers or other producers in the hopes of getting it made. Pitch deck is typically the first document that it's a visual representation of your project that you share with people to
Mm-hmm.
draw their attention in essentially. So the goal is to make it as pretty, as intriguing as
Mm-hmm.
possible. And it's primarily visual and
Mm-hmm.
less text because in the beginning, at least, you want to draw people in with visuals.
Okay, so how much of like overall experience you have in this industry?
So if you're saying film production, I would say 5 plus years, where
Okay.
I've made two short films. I've written and directed and produced those, and also I've also produced and assistant directed a few other projects as well.
Oh.
And I moved here. I moved to Mumbai last year in March, and since then
Mm-hmm.
I've worked at a creative agency for a bit, and then at a production company before switching to freelancing.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. So, can you actually tell like who is an AI artist basically?
So essentially, an AI artist is anyone who is able to generate images and art using AI. For example,
Okay.
there are different platforms such as Midjourney, DALL-E, Stable Diffusion. All of what they do is they generate image. They take in prompts. We
Mm-hmm.
as artists, we give in prompts, and the AI takes that prompt and it generates
Mm-hmm.
images accordingly. So that's essentially what an AI artist is.
Okay. When it comes to when you say art, I think it is about anything which is related with art. So how is it helping you in terms of filmmaking? I would want to know that. And secondly, I want to know your entire journey. Yeah, so first you can tell me how is it helping you as a filmmaker, and then you can tell me about how you actually got into this entire journey of combining AI with your work into filmmaking.
Definitely. So primarily, how AI art especially has influenced my filmmaking process, I'd say it's mostly used in pre-production,
Mm-hmm.
wherein we need the visuals to, let's say, for example, the pitch deck, and even in storyboards,
Mm-hmm.
where we need a certain angle or a different camera, like like the typical storyboards
Mm-hmm.
before either you do sketches on paper or you make
Mm-hmm.
them digitally, but now with AI, you are able to realistically develop those images, generate those images without having to spend money on going out and shooting that for the sake of storyboards, which typically filmmakers don't do that for pre-production process.
So can you share your journey, like as I asked you, from being a traditional filmmaker to delving into AI art?
So it's actually a funny story. I wasn't intending to become an AI artist.
Mm-hmm.
So I had quit my job at the production house,
Mm-hmm.
and that was around the time I had the script ready. I had the project that I wanted to start showing it to people, and that was around the time Midjourney was kind of like coming up. It was getting known among the industry folks, and
Mm-hmm.
I realized, hey, I have time on my hands. Let me learn Midjourney. Let me see what the hype is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got the subscription, and essentially I learned Midjourney by making pitch deck for my project essentially, and it took me about a month or so.
Mm-hmm.
And in that month, through like by making this pitch deck, I was able to sort of learn Midjourney and understand AI,
Mm-hmm.
generative AI, and soon after that, I realized that there is actually potential to start earning revenue from this, wherein because pitch deck is need everyone makes pitch decks. Pitch deck is not something new in the industry like deck, but with AI, what you
Mm-hmm.
can do is you can custom generate your images specific to your projects. For example, if you
Mm-hmm.
have a if you have a wide shot of
Mm-hmm.
a monsoon Mumbai, and there's a local station during monsoons, and you want a shot of that to represent, okay, this is the look I want. It would probably take around like a few lakhs at least, and 1 day's worth of filmmaking to get that shot, to go out and get that shot, get the crew ready. But with this, all you have to do is type in the prompt, and you get variety of images, and you can choose which one suits best for your scene. And this way, it's customized to your project. You don't have to go out and shoot it, or you don't have to pull from other films. So
Okay.
that's the best part about this. And
So
I realized, sorry, go ahead.
so typically you were saying in a typical traditional process, it will take how much, like a week or a month or so? And with the
No,
AI?
so the thing
Mm-hmm.
is, people usually for making pitch decks, people don't usually go and film stuff. What I
Mm-hmm.
mean, what I meant is like you just pull from online what you have, online images, what you can find that represents close to the look and feel of your own project.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean is the AI, the art that's being generated with AI right now, which takes a few minutes, that if you traditionally, if you want to film it, it would probably take a few days, and like you need to gather a bunch of crew, and you have to go out and shoot that, and it's a lot of hectic work. But
Mm-hmm.
now you're able to do that just within few minutes, the comfort of your own home.
Understood. Okay, so you have been freelancing as well quite a while, as you mentioned, right? So how has
Mhm.
been your that experience when it comes to freelancing? And
Definitely.
what all platforms you are freelancing on?
So the experience has been great. It's new. I never thought I'd be freelancing, especially not in a design aspect of the industry. And so that was a kind of like an interesting time for me to say, okay, this is what I'm doing. I could do something like this. The best part about it is the freedom I have with my schedule. I'm not working an entire day. Like I'm not working sleepless nights at a company, like trying to do someone else's work. I'm able to dedicate like my single productive day is anywhere between 4 to 6 hours. I probably
Wow.
won't yeah, I get saturated beyond that, honestly. So I'm
Yeah.
able to draw my line where I say, okay, after 6 hours I don't have to do it.
Okay, so the most important question which I want to ask you now is how much money are you able to make in a month or per project? Like how, whichever way you want to define it.
So it all really depends on a few different factors actually. A, the client, B, their budget, and
Mm-hmm.
C, the kind of project it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because every project and the number of image generations that you need varies
Mm-hmm.
from for everything. And it also depends on the budget of the client. So one project, which was a US client of mine, I was able to earn about 34,000 per project, which is
34,000.
honestly great. Yeah,
That's
it's
amazing. How much
in
time it
this whole
took? How much time it took for you to complete that project?
for me to make that, including all the revisions and
Mm-hmm.
everything, it took
Mm-hmm.
about 4 to 5 days.
Wow,
Uh, yeah, four
that's
to five days of like 5 to 6 hours of working.
yeah, yeah,
And
that's cool. Like if someone wants to really start off in this field as a beginner, how much time would it would take for the person and how much earning potential that person has first for a fresher and then like suppose a person who is experienced 3 4 years of experience, yeah, can you shed some light?
so definitely. So first of all, if you're starting out as an AI designer, or an AI artist in general, the first thing you have to do is you have to learn the craft, Uh, the thing about AI is it's pretty much intuitive. You don't have to, it's not a too big of a learning curve. So you can learn it, but the thing is you have to dedicate that time to learn it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's ever evolving. So one thing you learned yesterday might not be might not be applicable today because the platform just
Mm-hmm.
is making something new. So you get what I mean, right? So you have to be ready to learn every day
Trade
if need be,
yourself.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's ever evolving. And so you have to, and once you've done that, the second factor, the second thing that weighs in is your reach to the people, your essentially you building your client base, how actively you're doing that, and
Mm-hmm.
how much reach you have with the people,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because that reach directly translates to your.
If someone wants to really start off in this field as a beginner, how much time would it would take for the person and how much earning potential that person has first for a fresher and then like suppose a person who is experienced 3 4 years of experience, yeah.
I would say it would take anywhere between, I would say, give it 6 months to
Mm-hmm.
6 months with without like a standard pay that you have in your head. Like give it
Mm-hmm.
6 months to reach out to people, to turn it into work. And
Mm-hmm.
then if you're anywhere between 6 months to 1 year of dedicated work, you can
Mm-hmm.
expect to earn anywhere between 50 to 1 lakh per month.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's nice. And for an experienced individual, how much earning potential that person has per month?
The I would say anywhere between 3 to 5 years of them being in the industry and them
Mm-hmm.
having that reach far into the wide array of people in the industry, you can
Mm-hmm.
expect anywhere easily and upwards of 2 to 3 lakhs per month.
2 to 3 lakhs per month. That is nice, huh? And that
Yeah,
too just by working like how many hours in a day?
that is what I work. So maybe when you're 3 to 5 years in, I guess yes, same thing I would say. Yeah.
7, 6, 7, 8 hours?
Yeah, 6, 7, yeah, less than 8 with breaks. You could expect that.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next question is a follow-up. I would want to know like how easy when you say you need to build your client base and um, extend your reach. So I would want to know like how easy or difficult is it to get your first client for this profile?
Uh, Well, for me, I honestly got really lucky in the sense that I'm still on Fiverr, but Fiverr is a platform where you can post your gigs. Like there's different varieties of gigs and
Mm-hmm.
gig workers. People can buy your whatever you're selling, and
Mm-hmm.
then so on and so forth. So I was on Fiverr, and my first client actually happened to be this US producer, and she loved what I had to offer. And since then, I've made like three different projects for her, and
Mm-hmm.
so at least from her, I have been able to get that consistent work month after month. And other than that, I've been trying to just cold email people, kind of like send a Google Drive link of my work for reference.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, that's it boils down to dedicating that time to reaching out to people and like maybe cold emailing and
So for someone
figuring a
who's
way out.
for someone who is just beginning his journey, like typically how much time it will take on an average?
Time as in
How
to
much?
you mean per day how long it will take, or
No, no, to reach to make money from his first client, to reach his first client.
that is honestly a tough question to answer because there is no one specific answer, you know.
Okay, so for you,
Uh,
mm-hmm,
mhm. For me, it took about like maybe a month or two.
month or two. Okay.
And as I said, like I got lucky with my first client on Fiverr,
Mm-hmm.
where after a month or two, she found me on Fiverr, and we worked together for the first project. And ever since, at least once per month, she offers me a gig, a project.
Okay.
So outside of that,
Mm-hmm.
I've also been reaching out to people, and I have different clients, both from the US and India.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, generously speaking, give it a few months to,
Mm-hmm.
find. You might find it in the first week or also, like, there's no saying, but
Okay.
you might find it maybe like on your 12th week of searching and working on this. So there's no w-
Stop.
standard way of saying.
And you should not be stopping yourself to
Yeah, definitely.
when it comes
Please
to
don't.
reaching out to
Exactly.
clients, sending cold emails or calling them
Exactly. And reaching out on Instagram, like
on
any
Instagram.
way, or even LinkedIn, any way you think that you can reach out to people, do
Yeah.
it. Because and especially the thing about this industry is that you never know the person that you reach out to, and maybe they have like a different connection, someone else, and maybe they share it to someone else, and that's how you get your work. You never know. You can never like gauge those things. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely keep sending it. Definitely keep reaching out to people,
Mm-hmm.
and you will get work. I mean, if the if the market is there and people are finding out about what you have to offer, then definitely they're going to be interested in it.
Yeah. Any platforms which you would want to mention where people can join as a freelancer?
I think the only two platforms I know is Fiverr and Upwork, but I think
Okay.
Fiverr is the better
Better.
known one.
Mm-hmm.
Not better per se, but better known one.
Known one. Okay.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the two things. But mostly my work has been through emails.
Coming back to AI, I would want to know like what all tools and technologies you use for AI.
As a filmmaker in general, depending on what
Mm-hmm.
you want, there's a wide array of tools out there, and there are
Mm-hmm.
new ones popping up every day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but for me personally, at
Mm-hmm.
this point of my filmmaking career, I have been able to use ChatGPT and Midjourney.
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT for research purposes, as I mentioned, and
Mm-hmm.
Midjourney for visuals for
Visuals.
pre-production. For generative image generation, there's
Mm-hmm.
not just Midjourney. There's also DALI. There's Stable Diffusion.
Mm-hmm.
I started with Midjourney because I just thought, oh, hey, let's get Midjourney subscription, and I learn it. So I use Midjourney, but that doesn't mean that's the only thing out there. And there are DALL-E is also really good, and in so it really depends on what you start with and what you're kind of like trained in, you know.
Okay. Another very, very important question. What is your opinion on if AI can totally replace filmmakers or not?
I don't think filmmakers and writers in general have to worry about that, because
What is the reason?
the way I see AI is best used in aiding the process of filmmaking, not replacing it. For example, the whole VFX boom, like a little over a decade ago, right? Yeah, like VFX was the whole thing, and it still is the big thing in the industry. But
Mm-hmm.
no producer would say, "Let me make an entire 2 hour live action film using only VFX shots." Can you imagine the expense? Like, no one would say that. VFX,
Mm-hmm.
at best, it is used to enhance the visual filmmaking. So I think there's nothing to worry about, and you will always need filmmakers. You will always need to have that human touch to make films. That being said, I
Mm-hmm.
would stress the fact that AI is here to stay. Like, you cannot deny AI. Inevitably you have to incorporate it, you have to adapt to it. Otherwise, you just be left behind. That's the sad reality, but that is the world that's how the world is pivoting towards. And I think
Mm-hmm.
we have to adapt and keep up to date with it.
Yeah, understood, understood. So, would you like to share any resources which you're taking help with when it comes to upgrading yourself? Are there any resources, any
Uh,
YouTube videos or any
yeah, I
book?
think YouTube is the like my go-to school at this point, honestly. Like, if I'm stuck at something, even in Midjourney or like
Mm-hmm.
any other platform, I
Mm-hmm.
just Google it. I just go to YouTube and say, hey, like, how this is the problem, like how to fix it. And I'm pretty sure there's at least a couple of videos dedicated to whatever problem that you think would arise, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So I think at this point, it's just been YouTube for me, and just articles online, you know.
Okay. All right. Okay, so the last question which I would want to know, it's definitely not the least, but I really want you to answer this. Like for aspiring AI artists and filmmakers, like or filmmakers who are really interested in incorporating AI into their work. So what advice would you want to offer them in terms of getting started and developing their skills in this?
So definitely, I would say the first thing is get acquainted with what AI has to offer,
Mm-hmm.
and because there are a wide array of platforms that is capable of doing different aspects, such as image generation or video generation, or even image quality enhancement, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then ChatGPT is more of a text-based AI aid that it can be, and so on and so forth. There are so many different platforms. Firstly, get acquainted with that.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, recognize how you can use AI into your own work, and thirdly, learn them. Dedicate your time and energy and efforts into learning them, upskilling your work, and
Mm-hmm.
so that way, like, AI will be able to help you save time and energy
Mm-hmm.
uh, that you can use into your actual productive work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely don't uh, feel free to experiment with it, because honestly, if I didn't experiment with Midjourney,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be here, you know. I
Yeah.
never thought I'd be an AI artist, or like I would design AI pitch decks, but it all started with me having some time on my
Being
hands and me just
curious and
wanting to,
open-minded.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And one thing led to another, and so, like, definitely do that. But one thing,
Mhm.
as I mentioned before, is that AI is here to stay. Like, the world is pivoting towards AI more swiftly than you can imagine. And the best thing you can do is adapt adapt to it. So, but yeah, just get acquainted, be open, stay curious, and try to stay relevant by adapting to what's out there.
Nice, nice. Thank you so much, Monish. It was really, really great interacting with you. I'm sure like we all have got a lot of insights from you. Otherwise, it would have been very difficult. Like you are from a very different background. It's filmmaking altogether, and I'm sure people who are from your background, they would have gotten the insight of how AI can help them make their life easier, and aspiring students as well who want to get into filmmaking and incorporate AI into their work life and all those things. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. This was really fun, and
Yeah.
I hope whatever I had to share was whatever I had to share was beneficial to people. And but yeah, it's been really fun doing this. Thank you so much for reaching out to me, and I really appreciate that.